welcome to Strange Paths, a podcast where we read choose your own adventure-style stories. We are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm 70.
And
I said
Megan.
it faster than you.
And this week, we are reading a choose your own Star Wars adventure.
Ooh, a Star War.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's so
Dang.
topical.
This one is called A New Hope. So I'm
Ever
curious,
heard of it?
I'm curious if it's just a rehash of the first movie.
So what are we going to choose? Like who to follow, or like what, are we just going to change what's canon?
Are these the droids you're looking for?
Yeah. That would just really suck. Just
Yeah.
make the movies really short. All right, so go to jail and we'll kill you. The end. That was easy.
Anyway, it's by Christopher Golden. And
Is
it's a limited collector's edition.
Yeah.
Because the cover
We're so lucky.
has like kind of a zoomed in close up of Darth Vader's face,
Mask.
his mask, his helmet, whatever.
It's his face to me. I don't want to see that other face.
You don't want that milk, like Easter egg type weirdo bruised face.
Boiled, clotted cream.
Yeah, like a blue cheese chunk face.
And then his eye is
Anyway.
his eye is a hologram, and it's an X-wing blowing up a TIE fighter.
Is it a hologram? Isn't it a hologram whenever it's like Leia is when she's projected, or is it holographic? I don't know if which one. I don't know.
Anyway, there's a thing where whenever you turn the book slightly in the light,
Yeah.
the refraction across the page makes it look like a different image.
Wow. So it's a TIE fighter.
Yeah. TIE fighter getting blown up, or a TIE fighter magically coming back together.
Wow. That's futures, or no, I guess it was the past.
Yeah,
That's space stuff.
right.
I hope it's getting blown up.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
So, the fate of the Rebel Alliance is in your hands. You're dragged to the command deck of the Death Star, so scared you can't even look at the two men standing above you. Your fear grows to terror as you realize that one of the men is Darth Vader, the former Jedi Knight who turned to the dark side of the Force.
Wow.
There is the seed of the Force in you, Vader whispers ominously.
Don't say seed.
I could...
Don't whisper that to me.
You're gonna have a seed in you.
Well, I mean,
Big
is it better if
time.
it's whispered? Like, there's the seed of the Force in you.
Yeah, that was a gruff whisper.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I could teach you how to harness your power.
Ugh.
The Force, you think? In me? What do you want from me in exchange for my training? You ask.
You're just like immediately on board with Darth Vader?
It's very simple, Vader
Yes.
explains.
Paul is.
Yeah.
Do whatever you must to find the location of the rebel headquarters, then simply let us know. If you make the right choice, the glory of a triumphant rebellion may be yours. Choose wrong, and you'll face the monstrous fury of Darth Vader. Betraying your friends seems like the only way to save yourself, but is life worth living as a servant of the Empire? Right or wrong, the choice is yours.
Why are they saying right or wrong?
Because I think the movies, possibly unfairly portray the Empire as the bad guys.
I mean... yeah, but they have cooler, like,
They're cool.
insignias and
I think they
outfits.
just had bad marketing. Like, they probably shouldn't have called it the Death Star.
I mean...
Call it the Life
Yeah.
Star.
Call it... just call it the...
Lifestyle.
planet, the fake planet. I don't know, I'm not good at names.
Badass orb.
Yeah, the cute egg.
Laser Moon.
Yeah.
Ooh, lazy
Kissy, fun orb.
Yeah.
Kissy fun orb.
And maybe don't take, like, all your uniforms straight from, like, Nazi imagery.
It's... I mean, it was a long time ago. There weren't Nazis yet.
Oh, that's
Nazis
true.
Get from them.
Yeah, that is true. Interesting.
You're welcome. Hitler was a sci-fi fantasy like fan. You know what's great?
Isn't that why he started the Third Reich? Was because he got kicked out of art school?
Oh.
Because he kept having all these pictures that he'd paint of like
Let's not
fantasy battles.
sympathize with Hitler right now.
I'm not sympathizing with him. To be clear.
I'm trying to be him.
I am him. No, he's not. Please don't be mad at him.
All right. You live on your parents' moisture farm on the planet Tatooine.
It's starting off gross.
Oh, God.
So who do you think provides most of the moisture, mom or dad?
I don't want to.
Clams.
Megan's got the answer. Don't
To answer
worry.
your
we
question.
So obviously we're not Luke.
On the planet Tatooine, a dust ball covered with wind-driven sands and rolling dunes. You hear the exciting stories of the Empire and the Rebellion, and you dream that you'll soon get off Tatooine. As your best friend Luke Skywalker often says,
What?
if there's a bright center to the universe, Tatooine is the planet farthest from it.
Oh my god. That's a terrible Luke impression. So you're one of the ones that he was gonna go look at power converters with. Oh shit.
Luke also wants to get off Tatooine, to do what so many of your friends have done, attend the Imperial Space Academy and become a pilot. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is I would totally join the Imperial Space Academy to become a TIE pilot.
Yeah, I know, but do you want to just be blown up immediately?
You see how many of them there are? Like, what are the chances
I
that
want to
mine
run
will be
that
blown
garbage
up?
pit.
Yeah, Megan wants to live in the garbage pit. She's
It would
that
be the
weird
eye
snake.
I wanna
thing?
run it.
Oh, run it.
I want to run it and feed that weird thing in
Yeah,
there.
I don't think he
My blood.
deserves, all the squishing and stuff that he endures. I bet you he can get
Yeah.
flat though.
Yeah, it's probably like a massage to him.
Yeah, he likes it. It's like a hug.
Late one night, you were lying in bed thinking about becoming a fighter pilot. Though you know you should be thinking about the Imperial Navy, your thoughts are more and more of the rebels. That's a weird sentence. There's something cool about the rebels, and everyone knows that the Emperor is evil.
No doy.
Suddenly, you hear a whisper outside your window. Hey! It's Luke. He lives with his Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, who have their own moisture farm not far away.
Their farm is more successful and cuter, I bet.
Moistier.
Yeah, got more moisture.
Hi, Luke.
Because Luke's always whining and crying, right?
Exactly.
Nailed it.
Hi, Luke, you answer quietly. What brings you here this late? If your uncle finds out you left the farm, he'll be pretty mad. I'll be in bigger trouble if I don't get our new droid back, Luke mutters. What do you mean, you ask? What happened with the new droid? And which one? That gold protocol droid?
And which one?
C-3PO? No, the little R2 unit, Luke explains. It was the strangest thing.
This is horrifying.
Uncle Owen had me clean them up, and I triggered a holo recording. The little droid just kept repeating part of the holo vid over and over. What was it? You ask. Who was it is more like it, Luke answers. This girl. The prettiest girl I've ever seen.
Yeesh.
With a message for someone named Obi-Wan Kenobi. I couldn't get the whole message to play. Did you try taking off the restraining bolt? You ask.
That's day one.
Sometimes those bolts can botch other droid functions. I did that, but that made the droid even more excited. And then the message disappeared completely, Luke says. I'm going to be in so much trouble, Luke continues. After dinner, I went to check on them and R2 had run away. Run away? You ask in surprise. How far can an R2 unit get on the sand?
You idiot.
Far enough, obviously, Luke replies,
such a
frustrated. So, do you think...
He's just probably like,
No, go ahead.
he's like crawling after him like an idiot.
He's just like he's just rolling, like he's got his arms and legs like at his side, just like, where is he? I don't see him.
I like to think that he's like looking out the doorway, not walking up to the doorway, but only the little bit that he could see from wherever he was standing.
Sam,
He's gone.
I'm going.
So do you think this Obi-Wan is related to that crazy old hermit, Ben Kenobi, you ask? Luke shrugs. I asked Uncle Owen about him. He said that Obi-Wan Kenobi lived around here a long time ago, but he's dead now. Anyway, listen. I came over here to ask you if you'd come with me tomorrow. I'm taking C-3PO to look for R2, and I could use an extra pair of eyes. Sure, buddy, you say. All you have to do is ask. You just did.
Yeah.
The next morning, you meet Luke bright and early. You'll probably get in trouble for missing breakfast. But Luke needs help, and he's going to get in much bigger trouble if he doesn't bring R2-D2 back to the farm.
I don't remember there being anybody with Luke. They can't just change everything.
Yeah.
You set off across the desert in Luke's land speeder with C-3PO at the controls. You and Luke search the horizon with handheld scanners, trying to find some trace of R2. I can't believe you're letting a droid pilot your speeder, you say.
Wow, we're racist.
C-3PO seems upset. I'll have you know that piloting ground effect vehicles like Master Luke's land speeder is one of the secondary functions for which I have been programmed, he sniffs.
He sniffs?
And we don't all look the same.
In addition, it leaves Master Luke free to scan for some sign of R2. You look over and see that Luke is smiling. I forgot to mention that C-3PO is a bit sensitive, he says.
He's a little bit of a bitch.
The land speeder whips over the wasteland, just a few feet above the sand. For nearly an hour, you don't see anything. No sign of the tiny scavengers called Jawas, who sold the droids to Luke's uncle, or even of the sand people called Tusken Raiders, who savagely attack, rob, and rape, and even kill people coming into their territory.
Did not say rape.
Ew.
There's nothing here, you say, hoping Luke will turn around soon. You've been gone too long, and your parents are likely to get pretty angry.
Why didn't you stop so that we could pretend to raise the Tusken Raider sticks and scream? We were both doing it.
Doing it over here.
You just kept on going.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
You didn't see us both doing this, and you didn't hear me going, ah!
I did not.
I can't make that horrible sound that they make. It's the best I can do.
I feel like if I did, it would just come off as offensive, or if I tried to.
I mean, they were just like, it was kind of like donkey sounds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can only do it if I have a whole bowl of eggs in front of me and I'm about to, I'm that excited. But
It's an in the moment, this guttural primal thing.
yeah.
Can't just call on it whenever.
There! Luke shouts. You look up to see R2 trundling along the hard-packed desert sand.
He's doing his
Trundling's a
best.
good verb for that. When you catch up with the droid, Luke is in a rush to take it back to the farm, but R2 beeps and whistles, and C-3PO translates. Apparently, he needs to see Obi-Wan Kenobi. As Luke tries to turn the little android around, R2's whistles suddenly get louder and frantic. What's he saying, C-3PO? You ask. Oh dear, C-3PO says fearfully. R2 says there are several creatures of an unknown type approaching from the southeast. Sand people, Luke cries. Let's take a look. We're doomed, C-3PO wails. Shouldn't we find somewhere to hide instead? Luke agrees with C-3PO, and you help him hide the two droids behind some rocky outcroppings. You and Luke climb to the top of a small hill. With scanners, you search for signs of the sand people. You see a pair of banthas, the huge hairy creatures they ride, but no sand people.
Aw, they're cute.
No choices yet either.
Yeah. They didn't take us very deep into this book. You're already on page 57.
Then you hear screams as a Tusken Raider jumps up right in front of you. You shout an alarm and dive out of the way as it attacks you with a club. Luke also jumps clear, but now there are more of them, and you realize they could easily kill you both. You see a hole in their swarm. For a moment, you wonder if you should run. If you run, turn to page 14. If you stay and fight, turn to page 69.
69. It's the sexiest.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't even care what the choice is. Number.
All right, so
I mean, we can't just run away, right?
I like that you're trying to justify it after the fact.
Yeah, that's why.
You can just admit your fetish.
It's fine. Everybody already knows. When they think Stephanie, they
think 69ing a Tusken Raider.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
They don't really think that. But they will now because of the Tusken Raiders.
Oh, okay. You decide to stay and fight. Even though you know your situation is hopeless, you can't abandon your best friend. Both of you are knocked down, and you can hear Luke grunt in pain as one of the Tusken Raiders clubs you in the shoulder and then on the head. As you're about to black out, you hear a horrible roar, like the hunting cry of a crate dragon.
A what? A crepe dragon?
Crate, like C-R-A-Y-T.
Okay.
But is his skin crepey as well?
Yeah, is he crepey?
He could be. I have no
He
idea.
needs some lotion.
Well, probably. On Tatooine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they farm moisture, so I feel like it's scarce.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me, I guess, but I feel like it's probably scarce.
Dry mouth.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, how dry is their mouth?
How dry? Probably really dry.
How dry was it?
The noise scares the sand people away, and just in time, another few blows, and you and Luke might have been killed. You sit up groggy and stare at the hooded figure coming towards you. The figure pulls back its hood. You recognize the bearded, white-haired old man immediately. Ben Kenobi, you cry.
How? Everybody thought he was dead. Nobody knows what he looks like.
Well, you said earlier, like, do you think they meant like that crazy hermit Ben Kenobi?
Yeah, but they haven't seen him.
But
Clearly
they,
crazy
but they knew
and a
of
hermit
him.
from his...
Whatever.
And hello to you too, Ben replies. Is that Luke Skywalker with you? You shake Luke back to consciousness. He is just as surprised to see Ben as you are. We sure are lucky you came along, you tell Ben. The Junlan wastes are not to be traveled lightly, Ben says. What brings you two out this far?
What else could bring them out this far?
R2 beeps and whistles from his hiding place, then rolls along the hard-packed sand towards old Ben. This little droid here, Luke says, pointing to R2. I think he's searching for his former master. I've never seen such loyalty in a droid. There's no stopping him. He claims to have been the property of someone named Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is that a relative of yours? Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben exclaims. Why, that's a name I've not heard in a long time. Then you know him, you ask? Know him? I should think so. He's me, Ben says happily. Then R2 belongs to you, Luke asks Ben. Oh,
What?
I guess I said the shitty inflection.
To you.
Then R2 belongs to you? Luke asks Ben. I don't seem to recall ever owning a droid, Ben replies. But we really ought to get back inside before the sand people come back. They're easily frightened, but they won't stay away for long. Ben leads you to a small home. It's simple, but shelter and basic comfort are all I require, he explains. Ben walks to a corner where he stares at it for a while.
That's not true.
No.
Why would you do that? He stares and you're like, wait, what's going
Should
on?
we
Should we?
He's an introvert.
He needs time to recharge.
Ben walks to a corner where he opens a small wooden chest and retrieves a metal cylinder that looks like a handle with buttons. I was once a Jedi Knight, Ben says. You're a Jedi? You and Luke exclaim together. Yes, Ben continues, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. When the Jedi were the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, I served alongside your father, Luke. My father wasn't a Jedi, Luke says. He was a navigator and a spice freighter.
Okay.
That's what your Uncle Owen wants you to think, Ben explains. The life of a Jedi is dangerous, and your uncle doesn't want that for you. But your father was a cunning warrior and the best star pilot in the galaxy. He would have wanted you to have this. Ben hands the cylinder to Luke. Luke presses a button, and a long beam of light flashes, extending out about a meter. It's a lightsaber. Oh, the weapon of a Jedi, Ben says. So this is exactly A New Hope.
Yeah. Well, kind of, except we're there.
Yeah.
Just third wheeling it up.
Well,
and what about you? What are you doing here?
Yeah, I never realized in A New Hope that all the camera shots were just point of view shots from this character.
Yeah.
Ben then explains about the Force, the energy field that connects all living things and from which Jedi Knights get their power. But the Force, he explains, has a dark side, to which some Jedi, like his former student Darth Vader, have fallen prey. Suddenly, R2 begins to beep urgently. "Go on, R2," you say. "Show us this urgent message." "General Kenobi," begins a holograph of a beautiful girl. "Years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now we beg you to help us in our struggle against the Empire. I have placed information vital to the security of the rebellion into the memory system of this R2 unit. You must see this droid safely to my father on Alderaan. Please help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are my only hope." "Who is she?" Luke asks, and you can see that he is intrigued by the girl as he covers a blanket over his lap.
Shut up.
"She is Princess Leia Organa of the royal house of the planet Alderaan," Ben explains. "Officially, she is an Imperial senator, but secretly, she is a leader of the Rebel Alliance."
How does he know? He's a friggin' hermit.
Because he was there when she was born.
Well, he doesn't know that she's a rebel leader.
He knows everything.
I guess that's true.
All his droids come and tell him everything.
He could just
every secret.
sit there and feel the Force and know.
Mm-hmm.
"Now then, Luke," Ben continues, "you and your young friend must learn the ways of the Force if you're to accompany me to Alderaan." Both of you stare at Ben in shock. You have responsibilities to your family, and Luke's Uncle Owen will be pretty angry if Luke just up and left the planet. "On the other hand," you say to Luke, "I've been looking for some adventure. My parents have plenty of help on the farm. I bet they'd be proud of me for helping the rebellion." "Good for you," Luke says, "but not me. I'd like to help you, Ben, but I've been gone so long already, I'll be in big trouble when I get home. I can take you both as far as Anchorhead, and you can get transport to Mos Eisley Spaceport from there." Together, you, Luke, Ben, and the droids leave Ben's home and climb into the Landspeeder for the trip to Anchorhead. Suddenly, you spot smoke on the horizon. Luke pilots the Landspeeder in that direction. It's a huge Jawa sandcrawler, and it's on fire. It's been attacked, and all the Jawas have been killed.
No.
At first, it seems funny.
What? That's not... It doesn't say that. God, you got me.
At first, it seems as though the Sand People have done it. But on investigation, you discover clues that point to the Imperial soldiers Ben says are called stormtroopers.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. The stormtroopers probably destroyed the Sandcrawler because they were looking for R2 and C-3PO. You sense great danger. "Oh no!" Luke exclaims. "They must know by now that the Jawas sold the droids to Uncle Owen, and that would lead them back." Luke turns and runs to the Landspeeder. You have only a moment to decide whether to go with him or to stay with Ben and the droids. If you go with Luke, turn to page 6. If you stay with Ben, turn to page 26.
I don't want to go with Luke.
I don't want to go.
I want to watch him.
I want to see this. Yeah, I want to look at this comedic spectacle before me.
Yeah. I mean, what, we're just going to see Luke show up and be like, "Oh, cool, now I can go to Mos Eisley." Like, hooray. I want to know what Ben gets up to.
You don't want us to go there
Yeah, I want to roast a
and
hot
like look
dog.
at their charred corpses and be like, "So you think they're dead?"
Oh, my God. We're going to go with Ben.
You stay with Ben? Okay.
Benjamin.
You realize that getting R2 to Alderaan is the top priority. You stay with Ben as Luke jumps in the Landspeeder and rushes back to the farm alone. While he is gone, you help Ben make a funeral fire for the Jawas. When Luke returns, he is filled with rage and terrible grief. The stormtroopers have destroyed the farm and killed his aunt and uncle. There was nothing you could have done, Luke, you say. Indeed, Ben agrees. If you had been there, you would have been killed as well, and the droids would now be in the hands of the Empire. "I want to come with you to Alderaan," Luke says, "to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father."
Like Big Daddy Skywalker.
All right. You've never been to Mos Eisley Spaceport before. It has the reputation of being a hangout for the worst criminals in the galaxy. But you all know it's the only place to find a pilot with a ship to take you from Tatooine to Alderaan. Once you arrive, Ben guides everyone to a local cantina, then disappears into the crowd.
Oh, that song.
Just Ben was pulled in by the music.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, what do we got going on in here?"
You sit and have a drink of water with Luke. Soon, Ben joins you at the bar and introduces you to a huge furry Wookiee. Chewbacca's the first mate and co-pilot on a ship that should suit our needs. His captain is over at that table, a man named Han Solo. We'll see if we can buy our passage to Alderaan, Ben explains.
Can't he just make him?
How is this so close to the movie?
Yeah.
That
It's just like if you've seen that movie, then you don't need to listen to this episode. Except to hear Paul's wonderful Luke impression.
Yeah. Chewbacca leads you across the bar to a rugged-looking man sitting alone. He wears high black boots, a black vest, and a blaster on his hip, and nothing else.
he has an earring.
Yeah, he's got
Beautiful earring.
12 earrings.
Can I help you, gents?
What? Southern?
The man asks. Captain Solo, I presume, Ben says. We hear you've got a fast ship, you say. I've outrun Imperial starships. If you're worried about speed, Han Solo replies, the Falcon's fast enough for you, kid.
Dang.
Ben and Han talk money, and the deal is done.
I feel like this is gonna get sexy.
You've got a ship to take you to Alderaan, but suddenly you find yourself thinking more about the farm and your family. You know your parents will be proud of you when they hear of your adventure, but you're going to miss them, and you didn't even have a chance to say goodbye. If you make your way back home, turn to page 7. If you go with the others, turn to page 85.
You're gonna leave us.
What happens if you go?
Let's see.
You want to see what happens?
just go
You're
home.
sad.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I don't know about this,
Yeah,
guys.
I think it's nap time. A short while later, you watch the Millennium Falcon take off and leave the planet. You wander around Mos Eisley, looking for someone to take you back to your parents, but you have no money and no one will help you. Soon, the two suns begin to set, and the street grows dark.
It's just like, because you're so ugly, no one wants you around.
Finally, you meet a courier named Capriati. I'm assuming that's how you spell or how you pronounce the last name. It's O-T-T-I.
Oh.
Yeah. She doesn't have room for
Yes.
She doesn't have room for a passenger in her loaded messenger vehicle, but she will take a message to your parents and bring back whatever money they send.
Why do you assume they're going to send money?
Capriati leaves, and there's nothing you can do but wait for her. You go back into the canteen and ask the bartender, a man named Wuher, if he's hiring. The many alien races frighten you, but you need to make some money if you want to have a place to sleep and food to eat until Capriati returns. So your friends have left you on your own?
You're doing Watto.
Well, this place is pretty tough, Wuher warns. Calling up all your courage, you reply, So am I.
You're pissing your pants.
You're hired then, the bartender says. Maybe I'll even forget you came in here with those rebels.
Oh.
Wuher seems nice enough, but later that night you learn he supports the Empire.
Uh-oh. How do you learn it?
Oh, yeah.
What gave it away? I'm telling you, Wuher roars to a pair of stormtroopers leaning against the bar. I just don't get this whole rebellion business. I mean, we don't bother the Emperor. He doesn't bother us, am I right? What does it matter to a little backwater planet like Tatooine who's in charge? Heck, we don't want anybody to notice us.
Dang.
The stormtroopers seem to laugh along with Wuher, but you are angered by his words. The Emperor is evil, a tyrant who enslaves whole planets, but you're sure not about to say that out loud.
Oh, I thought you were, like, stamping your foot. And you're like, Hi, here's Maid!
Unfortunately, not everyone is smart enough to see that, a stormtrooper admits, his voice sounding electric through the white helmet of his armor. We actually chased a ship out of here today, the Millennium Falcon, filled with rebels. But they're in for trouble, all right. We're searching for them all over the galaxy. Oh no, you think. Luke is in for it now. You worry about Luke, Ben, and even Princess Leia. You start to wish you had gone with Luke in the first place. The next night you go to work at the cantina again. A few hours later, Capriati returns. I told your parents more about your situation than you wrote in the note, she admits. I know Han Solo, and I know about your friends dodging the Imperials on the Falcon. She must have been convincing, because the note from your parents says they're proud of you and will support whatever decision you make. They always assumed you'd run away with some boy. At the same time, they miss you and wish you were home. Along with their message, your parents have sent a lot of money.
Oh, shit.
Now that you have the money and your parents' approval, you can do whatever you want. If you go home to your family, turn to page 52. What? If you hire a ship to warn Luke of his danger, turn to page 95.
Go home.
Want a nap.
I want to see what happens if you go home. They're proud of you because you almost did something. What a good boy.
You realize you can't just leave your family and your life on Tatooine. Plus, if you try to find Luke on your own, sooner or later someone is sure to identify you as having been with Luke, Ben, and the droids, and you'll be arrested.
What? Why would anybody care about you?
The stormtroopers might even attack your parents and destroy your farm the way they did Luke's aunt and uncles.
Holy shit.
You can't take that risk. You must leave Mos Eisley immediately. You thank Capriati for the message and tell her you must go home. She helps you find someone who'll give you a ride, and you walk out of the cantina without looking back. At home, your parents are thrilled you have returned. Your mother has been especially worried about you. You work hard on the farm, and occasionally hear stories about the daring rebels defying the Emperor. You never see Luke Skywalker again, but you think of him, and of the rebellion, every night as you look up into the stars.
Oh, yeah, we're comfortable.
The end.
Yeah, I'm comfy with that. I mean, it's not my tale. Like, I'm glad that we got a way out, frankly.
So do you,
Yeah, I'm sleepy. I need a nap every day.
so do you guys want to stop there? Or do you want to see how it continues?
I mean,
Maybe we should just stop. It's the movie.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just...
If you guys have seen the movie, you've read the book.
I guess it's just that they wanted us to, like, feel involved and, like, feel like I'm becoming a Jedi too.
Yeah.
So
I
just
guess.
inserting us into the plot that was there.
Well, I mean, you know, when you're a little kid, like, why wouldn't you want to be like Luke's friend
Yeah.
and get to go on this adventure with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes
guess.
for... Maybe it's our fault for reading this book as an adult.
Maybe. And plus, like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like much of a choose your own thing because you already know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah. And
Like, shot for shot.
Yeah.
So I feel like the author of this is not Christopher Golden. Maybe that's, what's his name's pen name?
yeah. Or maybe he was one of the screenwriters who helped.
Yeah. He's just like, all right, here it is. So just
Maybe.
go to town, print it.
I don't know. I've always heard that with the first movie in particular, George Lucas like shot a bunch of stuff and had no idea how he actually wanted to like end it. And then his wife basically edited the whole thing.
And she was like, all right, let's make sense of this mess.
Yeah, basically. And then I've heard rumor that that's why he did the special editions.
Oh, God.
So that he could have the editing credit and remove her from it
And just
because
do
they
a
got
terrible
divorced
job.
later.
Oh, yeah.
Her version's better. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
So
Well.
yeah, A New Hope.
Go watch the movie. if you
Yeah,
wanna know how
just
it
watch the
Yep,
movie and pretend you're the camera.
Yeah. Pretend you're
It's-
being beaten by sand people.
Right.
Yeah.
You could probably pay some people in like, you know, the downtown district, whatever city you live in, to beat you.
Can you pretend you're sand people? I feel like that'll come across
I sure could in
wrong.
mine.
Yeah, don't ask people to pretend to be sand people.
In the real world, it's not it's not the same.
It's not as charming.
No.
What do you call me? Alright.
So,
If you guys
yeah. So if you guys have any hopes that you want to share with us,
fresh new ones.
yeah, then put them in an iTunes review that you can leave for us.
Yeah.
They start off at 5 stars.
Yeah. So just give us 5 if you love or hate it. That's all you
Love,
have to
hate
do.
it. 5 stars is the way you express it.
Yeah. Plus,
It's true.
You know, if you just desperately want to tell us the entire story of A New Hope, send it in an email.
Right. It's a strangepathpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. I don't think you can tweet it at us, but even with 240. Is that how many characters you have?
It's 280.
But you can try at StrangePathPod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can email me your porn fantasies about A New Hope
Yeah.
at bozosglowglobes@gmail.com.
Yeah, all your Greedo fantasies.
Yeah, to be clear, that was corn fantasies, right? With a C?
Yeah, corn.
Okay, gotcha.
Corn, guys. Send the corn stuff.
Yep.
Well, thanks for listening. Paul tell you the entire plot of A New Hope.
Yeah, next week I'm going to read the exact script for Schindler's List.
Yeah. Get
ready
a
for
snack.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.